This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening. I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Competition in the air travel market could become a challenge for the country's premier airline, Bahamasair. But officials at the airline say they are focused on securing the company's spot in the sector. Cleopatra Murphy has the story.
Chairman of Bahamasair Valentine Grimes says the airline has always struggled to make a profit, but officials are now working aggressively to stop losses. The national flag carrier earned a profit for the first time in 2013, recovering from a $500,000 deficit and earning a $250,000 profit. According to the company's annual report for the year end June 2014, Bahamasair cut its losses by 33.9% from $23.788 million to $15.714 million.
We are happy that whereas the losses used to be around $25 million, it's in the mid-teens now. And we think now with the introduction of our new fleet, we should be able to reduce that even further. We are very conscious of our cost. There are some inbuilt costs which are difficult to avoid and reduce, but there are some that we have been able to reduce, and hence we are now making our losses are less.
Grimes says the age of its fleet has been one of Bahamasair's biggest challenges. It is something the airline is looking to address with the purchase of 5 new ATR 600 airplanes, the latest of which will arrive in a matter of days. He expects the cost of fuel to reduce.
Due to the high quality of maintenance persons, we have engineers, we've done an excellent job, and we have a tremendously good safety record. Now with the introduction of this new aircraft, we'll be do even a better job. And so at the end of the day, our cost of service will reduce significantly.
Bahamasair Director of Sales Frederick Donathan says addressing the airline's shortfalls will also come from improving the passenger experience. He says officials intend to aggressively pursue passengers in different markets and improve reliability.
We are now aggressively looking at our pricing to be more competitive, generate increased revenue, and our goal is looking down the road to increase our revenue numbers so that we move towards becoming a more viable airline.
In the meantime, Grimes says officials remain focused on making Bahamasair more efficient. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Members of the business community coming together to learn more about the 4 proposed gender equality bills as the Rotary Clubs on Grand Bahama joined forces to hold a luncheon meeting at the Ruby Swiss restaurant today. Noted attorney Harvey Tynes QC was the guest speaker. He stated that he doesn't believe the 4 bills have anything to do with gender equality, but rather more about citizenship. He said he is not trying to convince anyone how to vote, but he's simply explaining the bills from a legal perspective. He shared his concern about Bill number 2.
If Bill number 2 should become law, it would allow a foreigner to pass Bahamian citizenship on to another foreigner. Let us look at what Bill number 2 says. It provides that any man or woman who marries a person who is or who becomes a citizen of the Bahamas shall be entitled, upon making application, to be registered as a citizen of the Bahamas. This means that a foreign man or woman would have a right to become a citizen of the Bahamas if that foreign man or woman marries a person who belongs to either one of 2 classes of persons: a person who is a citizen of the Bahamas, or a person who becomes a citizen of the Bahamas.
Tynes also gave his views on the section of the Constitution that allows foreign women to receive Bahamian citizenship by marriage.
I say that Article 10 should never have been placed in our Constitution in 1972 to give to a foreign woman a right to become a citizen of our country based entirely on her marriage to a Bahamian man. It is a provision in our Constitution which ought to be removed, and the people of the Bahamas ought to be given an opportunity to vote to remove it.
Grand Bahamians are getting a head start ahead of the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season. Stakeholders came together today for a workshop aimed at promoting a culture of preparedness in the event a disaster strikes. Cleopatra Murphy was there.
Grand Bahama was devastated by Hurricanes Francis and Jean in 2004, by Wilma in 2005, and the southern islands were nearly washed out by Joaquin in 2015, leading Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, to warn stakeholders of the importance of being able to respond quickly when disaster strikes. He addressed various sectors of the community during Tropical Shipping's disaster management workshop.
As history will reveal, while the physical makeup and location of our island and nation has many benefits, these factors also have us susceptible to natural disasters and their adverse effects. Consequently, the reality is that we not only have to be concerned about the possibility of potential attacks on our safety and security and our people, and on the outbreak of communicable diseases, but we must be prepared to deal with them swiftly.
His comments come as the Atlantic hurricane season set to begin on June 1st, with 14 named storms, 8 hurricanes, 3 of which are predicted to be major approaches. Director of the National Emergency Management Agency, Captain Stephen Russell, was also there, noting that the agency responds to man-made and natural disasters. It also is aided by private partners, one it reached out to when overnight Joaquin grew to a Category 4 storm.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I sent a quick text to the U.S. Embassy. I need your assistance. And in less than 24 hours, they were on the ground in Nassau with a 747 aircraft with water bladders, tarpaulins, and other equipment that we requested.
Deputy co-chair of the Grand Bahama Disaster Consultative Committee, Tammy Mitchell, stressed that disaster does not only come in the form of hurricanes, so preparation is key. She says public and private sector efforts are necessary to aid in recovery.
It takes a team effort for us to get back to where we need to get to after any disaster. So when we talk about team efforts, we're talking about volunteers, offering the services of the use of heavy equipment, a building to serve as a shelter, or even the use of a vehicle.
Officials say every little bit helps in times of disaster and urged all Grand Bahamians to get involved. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
The decision by Port Lucaya Marketplace to implement a new policy regarding minors on weekends is generating a heated public debate. As Italia Hall tells us, some residents say the decision is not a reflection on Port Lucaya but on parents instead.
This area is now a no-kid zone for children under the age of 17 unless they are accompanied by an adult on Friday and Saturday nights. Some persons in the community are giving their take on how they feel about this new policy.
I think it's an excellent idea. It's something that was needed a long time ago, and I think it's something that calls on the parents to be more responsible.
It's a good policy that the Port Lucaya Shopping Marketplace has put in place. They should have done that long time, many years ago.
I took the liberty to go up there, park in the parking lot, and I watch our parents drop off their children. They change their clothes right in the parking lot in between cars, and the parents gone about their business. I think it's Port Lucaya is not a babysitting club. And I speak for that from the wide margin of whether it's Bahamian or foreign children.
And others feel there are a number of hazards for children when they go alone to this tourist center without adult supervision.
Kids on man anywhere, be it Port Lucaya or elsewhere in the Bahamas or the world, kids should never be not looked after by an adult. And so I believe that that contributing to the crimes we're having with children today.
Out on the marina, there's no railing. Those children can fall and drown. Then what do they say? Who do blame them? The parents should be held accountable for the children. Whenever the child, my mothers, raise up right. You won't leave kids by themselves. They're children, they're toilets.
They need to go to church, stay in school. We need to blame. It ain't the government, it's us.
I don't think you should let your kid, your young teenager out, by themselves unsupervised, where there's alcohol, all kind of stuff going on.
My children never enter Port Lucaya until they graduate school and was on their own as young man and young woman. And even today they don't stay at my house till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I don't allow that. The only person come in my house late at the night is me, nobody else.
These residents are sharing this bit of advice for parents.
Tell them stop doing it full and take full responsibility for the children. Tell them be a mother, a real mother, and a daddy.
Pay more attention to them children. They're very slick.
Keep your kids at home.
Make sure you have someone to monitor them.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Police need your help in locating Abaco resident 28-year-old Leandro Simonet of Marsh Harbor. He is of light brown complexion, medium build, about 5 feet 10 inches tall to 6 feet tall, and is wanted on the charge of intentional libel. If you know where Leandro Simonet is tonight, you should contact the police. Stay with us. There's more news after this.